poll this morning, and our poll this morning was, are you still concerned about the spread of COVID-19? We had 21 people voting. 17 of you said, 18 of you said yes. You are still concerned, and 3 said no, they're not that concerned. They have to live with it.
I'm not concerned at all. I don't want to sound irresponsible, but I'm really not concerned. There are vaccines available. Go take your vaccine.
Yeah, Bull
So
Joel
that's our poll
said no to the
results.
poll.
Today is World No Tobacco Day.
That is World Parrot Day.
I
So
realized
that
this parrot was a big deal over the weekend too. The parrot, somebody
give me
take the parrot and the parrot come back home.
yeah, so that. Just give me a couple minutes while I transfer.
The parrot what's the parrot named Gruff?
Gruff. He's
Is
well
that the
known
parrot
in
used
the
to fly
Diego
the side,
Martin
on the
area.
side, the parrot used to fly the side of cars? That's the parrot?
Yeah, that one. And he doubles. Well known in the Diego Martin area.
Well, Gruff created a social media campaign to find Gruff, so
Well, it's not the first time that somebody has taken Gruff. I understand that, they want him to roam free, but they're the ills in society that won't see that. They'll just say, hey, look at my cow and it's tame. It's beautiful to watch, though.
strange habit flying next to cars, I'll tell you that much.
And that's dangerous. That is dangerous.
And people slowing down and being distracted to take videos of Gruff, so
Yeah,
that's where the danger comes in.
exactly. There are a lot of drivers that take videos, and it's a distraction thing. And if you're in a car with the amount of vehicles that we have on the road, a matter of a second, life could change.
Or somebody could pull on you.
Yeah, life will change.
Yes, I'm saying I'm not particularly concerned about the spread of COVID-19 again. Not that I'm being less vigilant, but I think there are measures in place and people should go get vaccinated and do the necessary. I don't think it'll be long again before the mask mandate goes to optional outside. I really don't think so. Probably at the end of June, I'm hoping. But I'll still wear a mask, quite frankly.
Yeah, weirdo.
And if and when the 4th vaccine becomes available, I'll take it too. So that's why I'm not particularly perturbed about the spread of COVID-19 yet. I mean, it's two plus years now, so we can't keep wallowing in COVID sorrow when there are measures available to curb the spread of COVID-19 and protect people.
Yeah, you really have to protect yourself.
Worry is wasted energy.
Because my mother wanted to travel, and she asked us this weekend, do you think she should? And we both told her no. Dennis and myself said, no, you can't go anywhere. You should not.
Why?
Well, she's going in an aircraft. She's going in an airport, and she's not a spring chicken. My mother is in her
Precautionary.
80s. So as a
Yeah,
matter of
you're right
caution,
about that. If she's in her 80s, yeah, she's highly more susceptible.
exactly. So that's why she was in a mood. That's why we told her, no, you shouldn't. I mean, you could protect yourself as much as you can, but you never know. And at your age,
Well, airport, airplane, yeah, crowded areas, people from all over the world,
2 airports,
high possibility of COVID transfer. You're right.
yeah, and
So you really just don't want to risk it.
yeah, it's a risk. So she said, okay, she won't go anywhere.
Yeah,
So-
better safe than sorry.
That's it. That's exactly what I said, quote unquote. Better safe than sorry.
Kudos to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who on Monday announced the introduction of the bill, or a bill, yesterday that would place a national freeze on handgun ownership across Canada. If passed, this new law will fine gun smuggling and trafficking by increasing maximum criminal penalties and providing more tools for law enforcement to investigate firearms crimes. He said while most gun owners use handguns safely in accordance with the law, they do not need assault-style weapons that were designed to kill the largest number of people in the shortest amount of time. Now, isn't that like just common sense? The announcement, of course, comes. Canada is looking at what happened in the U.S., where on May 24th, that crazy racist, on May 10th, this racist sicko shot people at the supermarket, and on May 24th,
And then 2 kids.
the terrorist killed 19 children and 2 teachers in Texas, right? Trudeau was always anti-gun violence, And in 2019, he ran in the election. His government has banned more than 1,500 types of military assault-style weapons after Canada's deadliest gun rampage. So he's not just talking. That's smart leadership. Take in front. Anything like the spread.
Exactly.
Yeah, that to me is what proper leadership is about. Right?
Yeah, 2 kids, There's 2 kids in Buffalo and Texas. 2 kids. And of course, I don't know you all. I think it's in your group.
There's 2 kids?
There's 2 kids that went with these kids. The one in the grocery, at the Tops grocery in Buffalo. He's 18 years old.
But that's not a kid, Steve.
Well,
It's an adult.
2 18-year-olds that cannot go into a bar and buy a drink, but can go and buy an assault rifle.
I saw one of the news channels in the U.S. did an undercover operation where they took a 15-year-old on an excursion. They took him into a bar. He couldn't get a drink.
Mm-hmm.
They took him into a convenience store. He couldn't get cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
They took him into a lottery booth. He couldn't buy lottery.
Mm-hmm.
They took him into a gun store, and the owner was offering him any type of assault rifle he wanted for sale. Interesting, eh? And he looked young. They chose somebody who looked
And he was 15 years old, Paul?
Yeah, he was 15 years old, so he was not allowed to buy cigarettes. He was not allowed to buy alcohol. He was not allowed to buy lottery. But when they took him into the gun store, the owner of the gun store was offering him assault-type rifle weapons, handguns, and the like, and he could have bought all of them if he wanted. So isn't that amazing? And the television station did that 2 weeks ago after the shooting to show how easy it was. While it was for a 15-year-old, he could not buy alcohol, cigarettes, or buy lottery. It was very, very easy for him to get an assault-type weapon and a handgun.
Yeah, I saw that. You had posted up that video in the group.
Yeah,
I saw that.
And that's astounding.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's how crazy America can be.
Yeah.
So you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't buy lottery, but you could buy a gun and kill people.
Yeah. Crazy.
Never a dull moment.
And there was also one with a little boy. I can't remember where I saw this one. Like, I don't know, the boy's about 5,
Mm-hmm.
or 5 or 6, somewhere in that age range. And he was at a gun fair. I guess.
Gun fair. Wow.
I guess it's like that.
With a parent, I guess.
And there was a lady just interviewing him and saying, show me how you do the rifle. And he's doing it. And she said, take out the magazine. He takes it out. He puts it back in. And then he does the gun. And
wow.
And of course, the caption was, this is how it starts. In terms of the video. But
I mean, they love the guns there. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have all respect their what's the Second Amendment, is it?
It's the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms.
But the Second Amendment should be for handguns. I mean, assault rifles, AK-47.
I think that Second Amendment really came about by the constitutional framers in the United States because they were at war with England.
Yeah.
At the time.
And then they had the North and South War too, eh?
Yeah, well, eventually, but that came later. That Civil War. That
intensified it. The right to carry arms and protect oneself. When they had that, is it Civil War? Yeah,
it was the Civil War.
So it was
between the South and the Northeast, basically, the northern states and the southern states.
Yeah. So I understand the evolution of it, but in this time to be able to have an assault weapon, you understand, at 17 and 16 and 15. To go in a school and just shoot people?
From the time
you're going to die?
From the time you're not buying a hunting rifle, because a hunting rifle is that, first of all, you're going to hunt, meaning animals, etc., which has its own argument for people.
Which has its own issues too,
Yeah, there are people who have a lot of issues with that. But from the time you buy a handgun or an assault rifle, your only use, you can call it for protection, but your only possible use of it is to injure or kill a human being.
Or more than one.
Yeah, by and large. And And that's why a lot of people have a problem with the assault rifles, because the rapidity of being able to give out shots, they say that no longer is about protection.
No.
That's about war. That's about
war. That's about war.
Yeah. That's not any more protection for your home or anything like that. That's now something else.
Yeah.
But the Second Amendment and the NRA, which is it's a powerful institution in terms of its ability to lobby, the amount of money that it has to lobby
into political
and to buy influence. It's considerable within the context of the United States.
I mean, that's in the US Senate anytime soon.
And the United States is the only country with that degree of mass killings of its own citizens by its own citizens. And certainly, I mean, little children. This is the second major shooting now of small children after Sandy Hook. Now you have this, crazy. I have always said that after Sandy Hook, if they couldn't do major reform then I don't know what else can move that needle. Because if Sandy Hook didn't move you, then I don't know what else can move you. And look how Sandy Hook became divisive. You even had some right-wing nitwits who were trying to disprove that Sandy Hook ever even took place.
Somewhat, Richard, somewhat.
Right-wing nitwits who did not even believe that Sandy Hook took place and were putting that narrative out there saying that it was fabricated.
Really some of them really, they out there.
And I think some of the families of Sandy Hook took them to court and won.
Some of them really out there. Oh my God. They're out there.
Well, you have flat earthers. How out there can you get?
And you have Kellyanne Conway. So.
Yeah.
Oh, Kellyanne Conway.
So I don't know, as a species, we are a little...
You include yourself in
there's a certain element of the human species and what they say. Sometimes you're like, okay.
Well, if you think about the human species and the history of humanity, since if we are to deem as accurate the historical records, we're a killing species.
Well, we're an animal.
Yeah, but other animals kill to eat. We just kill. Most other animals kill to eat, right? They have killer whales and stuff. Will kill they play with the prey a little bit, but they still eat it. We don't necessarily kill to eat alone. We kill for fun.
Well, we kill for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, but we seem to
sometimes it's territorial. Sometimes it's territorial.
Kill for pathology. Kill for psychosis. Kill what reason would you give that this terrorist who went into the school in Texas and killed 19 children and 2 teachers? What did he kill for?
I don't know. And when you read some of the survivor accounts on that, and I'm talking about
and
children.
What he said to them.
What he said to them, that you're all going to die.
You're all going to die.
The little children who are going to be screaming in horror and terror. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
The kind of horror and terror that.
And not only that, even if you survived, and those who gave their accounts obviously survived, you saw your classmates and your schoolmates gunned down on the ground in blood. So how does that leave your head as a 7 and 8 year old?
It doesn't.
It doesn't leave your head. You are terrified for the rest of your life. Going into a school is a terrifying experience for you, for the foreseeable future. You can't get out of your head your schoolmate on the ground with a hole in them with blood running out of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a different level of evil and...
Did you mention the passing of Brady?
No, I didn't, not yet.
Yeah.
He was a dancer.
A choreographer, a dancer, pretty much iconic in terms of Trinidad and Tobago dance and being a tutor. He has mentored so many dancers in Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, I knew him I'm not a dancer, even though I like to think so. But, but
I'll call him make you believe anything. That's
I'm peripheral on that, but I mean, I would have interfaced with him from time to time. And so he's certainly, one of the icons of our culture in contemporary Trinidad and Tobago that has passed, and you would have seen a lot of people being affected by his death on social media. So Gregor Brady, I know for some people they may not know him if you weren't into dance and the culture, but it's somebody you should know. And I think he has a doctorate, so I think he's actually Dr. Gregor Brady. He was also based at UTT for a while. I don't know if he was still there. But if I can just read a little bit about him. So master choreographer Gregor Brady died on Monday at the age of 57. His niece Carrie Ann Seeley said he had been ailing with cancer for some time and it overtook him quickly. Brady started dancing in 1990 at the Trinidad East Indian Dance Company under Rajkumar Krishna Prasad before being asked to join the Barataria Best Village group by Felix Harrington. He was big into folk dance too. While with Barataria, he was also taught by Peter London and Imelda Lynch Griffith. His dance tutelage also includes individuals such as Patricia Rowe, Dr. Carol LaChapelle, Astor Johnson, Noble Douglas, Henry Daniel, Nicole Wesley, Sonia Dumas, Cyril St. Louis, Billy Ann Bally, Suzette Sherman, David Earl, James Kudelka, Raymond Ross, and Andre Etienne. He studied at the Toronto Dance Theatre and worked with the Gina Laurie Riley Professional Dance Company in Windsor, Ontario from 1992 to 1995. He won the Best Male Choreographer award in the Prime Minister's Best Village competition 11 times and was adjudged Best Male Dancer 3 times. He also won awards for his work with Lorraine Rivet and received a Gael Independence Award in 2009, among other achievements. In 2014, Brady obtained his BFA with honors, specializing in dance at the University of Trinidad and Tobago. He then attained his master's in carnival studies under the guidance of Dr. Hollis Liverpool and Dr. Rudolph Otley. He was pursuing his PhD at UTT under the supervision of Dr. Hollis Liverpool and Professor Valerie Stout at the time of his death. Okay, so he didn't get his doctorate yet.
Yes.
He was pursuing it. So having taught at various primary and secondary schools throughout TNT, he worked with Heather Henderson, Gordon's La Danse Caribe, and Andre Etienne's Performing Arts Company, taught at the School for the Blind, and has conducted many outreach programs with Necessary Art School, led by Naima Thompson and actress Penelope Spencer. So I know he was also involved with that. So that just gives you, he was a dance professor and choreographer. Kieran Sargent said when he left San Fernando to dance in Port of Spain, he joined the Barataria Community Council because of Brady's work there. So that just gives you a sense of whom he was, and he has passed. And so our condolences go out not only to the dance community across Trinidad and Tobago, and of course the Best Village community, but also to his family and friends, and to all of the students that he would have mentored over the years.
Condolences to his family, friends, and fans. Yeah. All right, should we open the phone lines? Let you see what the audience is thinking about.
Sure. Got another accident to tell you about. It's by the South Park flyover, and it is northbound. All right, that's on the Solo. That's by South Park flyover. So expect delays. All right. So 222-8255, 612-8255. Toll free North Americans 866-525-1099. All right.
I'll have you all know I'm getting orders for cooking and stuff now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You have a large family?
No, some friends of mine. Wow. It's after I congratulate you this morning on your amazing accomplishment. Wow. Thanks, Richard. That's so nice. Mm-hmm. Some friends of mine who had an engagement party asked me because they saw my posts and my foodie posts.
So you catered? Was it a catering job?
Mm-hmm. I did a leg of lamb, which was extremely tasty, according to them. I did a baked chicken.
According to them.
Yeah, but they eat it. I didn't eat it. I cut it lamb, you understand? And I did vegetables sauteed in parsley and butter.
So you're starting a catering business. Because we already have the pet butler and we have rum box. Mm-hmm. So we might as well.
And we have the ladies' room.
I have a production business, but I can start a catering business.
That's what I'm saying.
And when you have your productions, I could cater for
Yeah.
your cadre of actors and
Sometimes
hands.
we need catering. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm saying it's a business.
It doesn't only have to be your family to enjoy your food.
It's a business
Contrary to popular belief.
I'm saying it's a business
This
opportunity.
ungrateful wretch.
It's a business.
After I always ask him, I think I heard a play coming up on the 4th, I think. I can't remember the name of the play.
It's called Ladies' Room.
Coming back to, I think it's somewhere in the north.
Cipriani College.
I think it's on sale. I can't remember the outlets.
Electronics Arima. To Billy Rawe in Tinapuna. Pet Butler in Curette. Pens of Marabella in Piaco Plaza for those of you in
the person who I always commend for Mary could dance and now ladies room, but he'd say only my family could like my food, right?
I didn't say that. I just simply said you have a large family.
Steve, open the phone line and see if it.
Yeah. Lines are open. You can call us right now.
Like, wow.
North Americans, it's a
He's
toll-free
telling me
number.
I bitter. He's always telling me I bitter. Okay.
When Mary is coming, Richard?
Paul bitter.
Ladies' Room is next. So Ladies' Room is on this weekend, on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, Ladies' Room is on this weekend at Saturday and Sunday at Cipriani College, and it's actually backed by public demand. So many people have asked for it to come back, and I mean, the reviews of the play have been incredible. You could see it on RSRR Productions Facebook page, all of the comments of people who have come to this show, because it's also, beyond being a comedy, it also has a lot of messages, about what these women are going through in the play. Even though it's very funny. So, of course, as I just said, tickets are available at Electronics Arima, Jabili Rawe in Tunapuna, Fens of Marabella in Piaco Plaza,
I didn't hear that at all. I couldn't hear it.
And in Chagonas, Creme Fresh at Brentwood Mall, in West in Trinidad, K Squared Fashions in West Mall on the ground floor. And Anthony's Florals, the Pet Butler. Okay. And in Valpark Shopping Plaza at Anthony's Florals, which is beneath the Chinese, Valpark Chinese restaurant. So I've given you all of the outlets. The box office at Cipriani College will actually open on Wednesday. Tomorrow, it is going to open at Cipriani College. So much looking forward to it. Your friend came down here, Paul. He said you were bringing some friend who was coming down or something like that.
Yeah, she came down. So,
yeah.
When is it? Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
Saturday at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30.
I didn't get the times.
Yeah. So I just gave you the time.
Let's open the phone lines and see how your weekend was this weekend, and if you were back and laying in the road and all of that good stuff that young and older people do.
And your opinions on some of the stuff that we raised.
And some of the issues facing the country now.
Yeah.
Roadblocks over the weekend.
Question. Are there provisions presently, or had there been provisions when property tax was active, for persons to apply for exemptions? I'm kind of doing some research. Or if persons were on fixed income, like a pension, if they could apply for reduced, tiered property tax. Or
not that I know of. Not in the old version.
I didn't think so either. Okay, right.
Not in the old version.
I haven't heard anything.
Right. So
the old version was land and building taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that it wasn't specifically called property tax
or resident, and it wasn't specific to residential properties.
Well, no, it was land and building taxes. So you just had to pay, and of course they were pretty low, depending on whichever part of the country you are in. Of course, the property tax is going to change that. And I saw that I did mine online, and they said you would get your PIN. Are you supposed to get a PIN or something like that? They said you would get your PIN.
Your assessment is complete.
Yeah, I've never gotten a PIN.
They can't start it.
I think they said you should get it within like a couple of days and never received it. I'm not harassing my head. I did what you all said. If your system is inefficient, well,
that's your business.
Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning to the breakfast crew.
Morning.
I just want to deal specifically with Trinidad and Tobago in regards to guns. Two words I could use: responsibility and accountability. Thank you very much.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
ours is not an issue as far as I know with legally held guns, precepted persons. Ours is an issue in Trinidad and Tobago primarily with illegal guns and the prevalence of illegal guns, particularly with the criminal element in Trinidad and Tobago. That's where our main issue is, because it seems like everybody out there could have a gun or has a gun. Because most of the crimes are committed, many of the crimes are committed with guns, illegal guns in Trinidad and Tobago. So a lot of the focus has to be placed there and how they're getting into the country. I mean, there were several reports indicating that many of the guns coming through legal ports because they don't surveil the ports. Well, the port of Spain, I know for sure. And I went on a tour of that bond area in the airport, and one of the bond holders actually taped up the surveillance cameras. Or somebody, no, they didn't do it. Some official taped up the security cameras because they said it was a security issue. Cameras,
I mean, like tape up to the wall
like
to
taped
hold it
up-
down?
No, like taped over the lens so you couldn't see nothing. And we asked, what was that about? They say, well, they come and they tape it. They say they had to tape it. I don't even want to go into it because it's so confusing. In one of the bonded areas.
What people don't see.
What people, it's like, what?
And you trying to tell me that the managers or supervisors didn't say, why is that camera taped up?
And they said, they asked, why you tape? Well, because we can't tell you, but it's security reasons.
It's a security camera.
Well, apparently the people don't want to see some things. They want to be selective about what they see.
And you wonder why Trinidad
And it was
is
actually
invaded.
so easy to walk in and out of the bonded area onto the tarmac at the time I went about 3-4 years ago, which was also shocking. That if you got,
This was in the airport.
yeah, the airport part of it, yeah. So they have a whole series of bonded areas with importers that you could go and pick up your stuff. But if you got to the back to identify your stuff in some instances, the gate to the tarmac was right there.
Wow.
I hope I'm not precipitating an incident by saying that, but and somebody will get no bright ideas. And I hope it's been made more secure since then, but I was surprised as to how lax the security was. Let me just say that. But don't talk about the CARICOM jetty in Port of Spain.
Oh, don't even talk about that one. That's a free fall.
That is like a free fall. That's like a free fall. That's a open immigration area.
Yeah. Bringing anything from there.
Hide in the boat, jump off the boat, come into the country.
Pay a little fee to the captain, I'm sure.
No, you didn't probably not pay nothing.
Oh.
Some instances. Yeah, that CARICOM jetty was very disturbing also. What was highly efficient and extremely well run was the port at Pleb Deco down there. That was, I mean,
The international port.
yeah.
Let's
But
call
it's
it.
partly it's partly locally owned and partly run by the consortium of business owners down there. So it's not international in that way.
That's the one at Point Lisas.
Point Lisas, yes. That
Yeah.
was extremely well run. And I'm wondering, we asked the question, why, if it's part owned, part locally owned, can't the systems that are employed there and maintained there be transferred to the Port of Spain? No one can give you an answer. But the answer is because they don't want it. Because whatever's happening in Port of Spain, somebody likes it that way because they benefit from it. Good morning, Customs and Excise.
Yeah. I remember pre-pandemic, I had a box to collect at Point Lisas, and it took an entire day. From 7 in the morning till 9 in the night. Just to go
Something I
and
do
collect a
understand
box.
also. When they could schedule you and tell you come 2 to 3 o'clock and collect your stuff and pay for it and process it. I never understand that. Although I will tell you, I know people who go to collect cargo from Port of Spain and Piaco, and it's very efficient. in
Yeah,
some
I've
instances.
collected at Piaco already in and out in less than an hour. From parking the car to driving off, less than an hour. But at one time in Point Lisa, it was just an entire day, and it's like, what a waste. You can't do anything, you gotta wait. You get a number system, they call your number, then they go for lunch.
Yeah.
222 Talk, 612 Talk, toll free North Americans, 866 525 1099. All right.
Here's a classic story. one of these types of stories we've heard over and over. Police are investigating the murder of an alleged gang leader. Haven't we heard that phrase before? We have so much gang laws in Trinidad and Tobago. The police are investigating the murder of an alleged gang leader, Avinash Crisis Sipasad, who police described years ago as the leader of the unruly ISIS gang in the Depression, was shot dead around midnight on Sunday. So the question again, if he is so well known to be involved in gang activity, that police are tagging him as a gang leader, and the ruler of the unruly, or the head of the unruly ISIS gang in Enterprise, which has created so much havoc, why was he out on the streets?
And he's one gang leader.
Could somebody answer that question for me? If they have so much intel and information on this individual, and he was an alleged gang member, more than that, an alleged gang leader with gang legislation enacted and updated and amended, why was he on the street still? Could somebody answer that for me? Why? So the other gang could find him allegedly and kill him, but the police couldn't find him to arrest him and charge him with something that he supposedly had information and intelligence and evidence on. On the other side of it, the family could well say, well, you all tarnish my loved one's name, because if he was this supposed alleged gang leader, why has he never been arrested or charged, or has he been arrested and charged? You understand? I do understand. I never understand. But he was known to police. He was an alleged gang leader, and they will tell you, well, yes, they have intelligence, but they have no evidence upon which to act legally. Well, get the evidence. If you're so sure. If you're so good. I'm confused. You understand? So what is going to happen now, if it is indeed that he was, according to police, an alleged gang leader and gang head, there's going to be a vacuum of power created, and one or two others are going to fight now for leadership, and they're going to have a little uprising. If it is he is so well known to police, what is he doing on the streets? If the police information is so profound, if the intelligence is so sound,
And especially if you know he was a gang leader.
and not only a gang member, a gang leader.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the gang, you supposedly know the gang he was heading at and what the gang was involved in. But he's on the streets.
Yeah. And we have laws for that, right?
Plenty.
Yes.
That I stay till midnight and 2 in the morning gathering on myself. You understand?
Yeah. Those kind of messages.
He was well known to police. He was an alleged gang leader. He was wanted in connection with XYZ 123.
Maybe they had no proof.
Well, go and get the evidence. If your intelligence so sound.
It's just like when in that news item when they were talking about the fact that there are some gangs that are using home invasions as their MO and leaving their marks and stuff on it. And I'm like, well, telling us this doesn't necessarily placate us.
No, it doesn't.
Tell us what you're doing about it. Now, they did say in that news item, they did say that they had made some inway into some of those gangs, but it wasn't, if you're saying that, say what you've done and what you're doing to stop them.
I heard a report 2 weeks ago that says there are over 2,000 gangs in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what to believe anymore.
But it was 100 and something.
I don't know what to believe anymore, to be very honest. You understand? And the other side of it is that while you say he was an alleged gang leader and the leader of the unruly ISIS gang, in the absence of evidence, arrest, and charges, the family can say you're just damaging the family member name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You understand? Because if he was so well known to the police and he's never been charged, and I don't know, maybe he has been charged with something and got out on bail or whatever.
He wasn't the one who was very talkative, so to speak. when there was something going on in the Endeavor at time. Was it Endeavor Enterprise?
Some time ago, yes.
Yeah, and he was on news
Very vocal.
for several nights. Yeah, I think that's him, right?
Very,
Am I
very
right?
vocal. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Trinidad is too small for us to not have a handle on this. And
Exactly.
and
for such a long time.
And if you do, and for such a long time, you're right. And because the longer you take to get a handle, the larger the problem becomes. The cancer just grows. So if it is you need international help, and
Ask and get but they're always
Exactly.
saying they're sending members of the TTPS to train in detection and law enforcement. They always, and that's true, they always send people to train. Get the international help you need. You clearly are incapable of making a sustained, effective intervention. One day is domestic, next day is gang, next day is
What will tomorrow hold?
miscreant citizens. What is the excuse tomorrow? Crime is a complex issue. It's multidimensional and multifaceted. You know that line they like to use? We know that. It's multifaceted and multidimensional in the US, in the UK, Australia, Grenada, Jamaica, Brazil. But they're making progress. So what it is that they're doing, or trying to be just special. We're just special.
We just special.
And the numbers are. Audience says, what are we doing wrong in the country? What are we doing wrong? Tell us what we're doing wrong. What are we doing wrong? What aren't we doing? Or is it that the other side of it is something I've proposed a long time ago? We keep focusing, as we should, on the, I'm going to ball the bottom feed, the lower levels of the crime, and not enough emphasis is placed on the big shots posing as business, who are really the main movers and shakers behind the drug and gun transshipment enterprise in Trinidad and Tobago. Because I always say, every year, we mash up 350 of the small players. Not so? They are recycled, unfortunately, because you don't want to talk and do things because they're actually human beings still. But the ones who are really funding and driving it, untouchable. So now that this individual has died, you know there's going to be a vacuum created and somebody is going to ascend, allegedly, in terms of whatever alleged enterprise he was in charge of, because the vacuum is not going to remain there forever. Isn't that so?
No.
So lieutenants now going to fight to ascend, and you're going to have a little bloodbath coming up. So expect some more gang-related activities.
Yeah. It's all pretty depressing.
Yes, very, very depressing.
And the whole issue of crime is a very depressing thing for, most of Trinidad and Tobago. It's frustrating, and
but not only frustrating, Richard. I mean, the acting commissioner said home invasions and assault and battery are just now what gangs are specializing in, particularly across the East-West corridor. It's not only upsetting, it is very dangerous and damaging. A mother of 5, they walk in the house and shoot her. You understand?
Yep.
And long
Climbing in her gallery.
It's odd to hear that a woman was shot here. Now it seems like every week or every 2 weeks it's happening now.
Yep.
So, I mean, what are you going to say? It's just so, it's paralyzing, actually. Paralyzing. And it has an impact on everything. Think about, I mean, people, thank God, come out to your place and stuff, but think about if people felt safer, how much more patronage you would have. Patronage. You understand?
Yeah.
But there's some who want to come out to say, me going out any night. Have you thought of doing 2 o'clock plays?
And no, doesn't work. And but there's still a lot of Trinidad who still go out and still,
You can't stay on forever.
Yeah, because, like, for example, if you look at the events over the weekend, bars were pretty crowded this weekend.
Yep.
Bars and clubs.
The weekend,
Yeah,
day
crowded.
weekend, long
Yeah. So
weekend.
people obviously, like COVID, live with it, and just are vigilant, but know that their life has to go on. And from the time you cower away, in a kind of way, you give the criminal element of victory. Yeah?
Well, think of the events that you see selling out already. People in their 20s and early 30s, primarily, who are not going to be stymied by, because they're young. I mean, you can't lock up a young person, you understand?
Nope.
And they have a sense of invincibility anyway. That's not about us, that's about them, kind of thing. So that's their general psychology and mindset. But people who are older, who, okay, a party in my 20s, I don't really need to go out that much in my 30s, or maybe I'll go out in my 30s and not go out in my 40s as much. So their priorities become different, but 20-year-olds are going to go out en masse. 18 to 35 or 40 thereabouts are who the main category of that Bacchanal Road Josie Jamishnist is. Yes, you have older people like Ragoobarsingh and them who want a little vibe still.
I wasn't there, but
you know what I mean.
But yeah, I know people in my age.
Are you trying to hold on to the last vestige of your youth?
I know people in my age
Putting on pom-pom shorts and net stockings and thing, and
who would be out there
to contain yourself a little bit.
Yeah, they're about going out and enjoying life. And
But they're right. That's what life is
and I have
about.
some friends who, after COVID lockdown for the last 2 years, are adamant that they're going to enjoy their life now. Huh?
Because you realize life is so fragile.
Yeah, they have made a decision that, after that 2-year lockdown, that they're now trying to be unafraid about everything.
Yeah, because you don't know what will happen in life.
You don't know.
And you're right. You just don't know anymore. Yeah. You have no guarantees, which is sad. That you've reached a stage now where you might as well live because you don't know if you'll be here tomorrow.
Correct. You give a man a bad drive, or you get a bad drive and you just say, hey, what happened there? And they more vex on you and things happen. Simple things like that.
Well, that happens to you, Steve, because you are maybe a very sour driver.
I'm a
But
very
for me-
cautious driver.
But for me, I'm like, if you give me a bad drive, I'll say go. I'll be like, well, obviously you're rushing to get home because your mother is sick or something. I contextualize it in my mind and not get angry about it. I have friends when I'm driving with them, they're cussing. I said, why are you so aggressive and so upset about everybody?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, you're going to encounter bad driving. Just, maneuver around it. Why are you setting up your blood pressure about it?
Exactly.
I certainly don't.
I don't.
I just be
I
like,
leave you
okay, go
alone.
your way, sir. Go your way, sir. If you're struggling and driving in front to get in front of me, I say, go ahead.
Pass me.
Go
Like the
ahead.
time
I
with
slow
AV.
down and I say, go ahead.
We won't get involved with.
I'm not.
You want to tell me the bad drive you gave
I
me?
don't bad drive anyone. I'm always driving slowly and taking
What?
my time on the nation's roads. Everyone knows that.
I know this, Evie. Yeah.
Thank you, Richard.
What?
Hannah.
Jesus Christ listening, huh? Remember that. When you praying to him tonight, tell him sorry because he was listening this morning. Okay?
Everybody knows that about my driving. I always
When you are
road,
when you're praying to him tonight or this morning, say what I said just now on the radio, I'm sorry for it because it wasn't entirely true.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't mean to say it, but I had to get the cooks bent it, and I had to say something. It was just a little white lie. But please forgive me.
With the exception of Richard. Richard, if it wasn't for you, I'm so happy that you're here.
Jesus Christ, I was joking. You know I was joking, right?
I'm
And
so
you
happy
can
to hear
make a joke,
Richard.
right, Jesus? Yes.
Wow. Could we move on to headlines,
Right,
please?
let's do it right now. All powered by Chamfrey Auto Services.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
The response from the acting Commissioner of Police, MacDonald Jacob, to the fact that this country ranks as having the